What's going on, everyone? If you're thinking about moving to Edmonton, Alberta, or you're just curious about what it actually costs to live here in 2026, then you are in the right place. In this video, we're breaking down the full cost of living in Edmonton: housing, groceries, transportation, entertainment, taxes, and more. So stick around, because by the end of this video, you're going to have a really clear picture of what your money gets you in this city. Welcome to the channel. My name is Matthew Hop, and I'm part of the Hopfanoff real estate team with eXp Realty, based right here in Edmonton, Alberta. If this is your first time here and you want to stay up to date on everything Edmonton and what living in Western Canadian cities is really like, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now and click the little bell so you're notified every time we drop a new video. And if you're thinking about relocating to Edmonton or moving within the city and surrounding areas, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. Day or night, we've got you covered for all your real estate needs. All right, let's get into it. First, a quick overview of Edmonton. Edmonton is Alberta's capital city, and it's one of Canada's most underrated urban centers. It sits on the North Saskatchewan River, it's home to over 1 million people, and it has a reputation for being one of the more affordable major cities in Canada, especially when you compare it to Vancouver or Toronto. But affordability doesn't mean you're sacrificing quality of life. Edmonton has a booming tech sector, a strong energy industry, world-class universities, incredible river valley parks, and a food scene that keeps getting better every year. So whether you're a young professional, a growing family, or someone looking to stretch your retirement savings, Edmonton deserves a serious look. Now let's talk numbers. Section 1. Housing costs. Let's start with buying a home. Edmonton continues to offer some of the most competitive home prices among major Canadian cities. For a single-family home, you're generally looking at an average price in the range of $470,000 to $540,000 in 2026, though prices can be higher in newer or more desirable communities on the south side or in the suburbs. That's still dramatically lower than what you'd pay in Vancouver, where the average detached home regularly exceeds $1.8 million, or Toronto, where you're often looking at over $1.2 million. If you're looking for something more affordable, condominiums and townhomes are a great entry point into the market. Condos in Edmonton typically range from about $185,000 to $270,000 depending on size, location, and amenities. Townhomes sit somewhere in between, offering more space than a condo but generally at a lower price point than a detached home. For first-time buyers especially, these are really strong options in a market that still makes home ownership achievable. One more thing worth mentioning. Alberta has no provincial land transfer tax, which can save buyers thousands of dollars compared to purchasing in Ontario or British Columbia. That's money staying in your pocket. Now let's talk renting. If you're not ready to buy or you're new to the city and want to get the lay of the land first, renting in Edmonton is very reasonable. A one-bedroom apartment will typically run you between $1,100 and $1,400 per month, depending on the neighborhood and the building. A two-bedroom apartment generally falls in the $1,300 to $1,700 range. If you need more space, say a 2 or 3 bedroom townhome, expect to pay somewhere between $1,500 and $2,200 per month. Now, these numbers can vary depending on whether you're renting a brand new unit in a newer development versus an older building, and location plays a big role too. Downtown and the newer South Side communities tend to run a bit higher, while mature neighborhoods can offer solid value. Section 2. Groceries and dining out. Grocery prices in Edmonton are pretty on par with the Canadian average. Where you shop matters. Places like Costco, No Frills, or Superstore will save you money compared to higher-end grocers. Let's break down some basics. Apples will run you about $3 to $4 per bag. Bananas are usually $1.50 to $2 per bunch. A head of lettuce, romaine or iceberg, is about $2 to $3. A 5-pound bag of potatoes is around $4 to $5. Chicken breast typically runs about $10 to $14 per kilogram. A dozen eggs will cost you roughly $4 to $6 depending on the brand, and a loaf of bread is usually $3 to $5. For a single person eating at home and cooking most meals, a reasonable monthly grocery budget is somewhere between $300 and $450. For a family of 4, you're probably looking at $700 to $1,000 per month. Again, depending on your eating habits and where you shop. Now, eating out, Edmonton has a fantastic food scene. There's everything from quick casual spots to some seriously great fine dining, and the variety has really expanded over the last few years. For a casual sit-down meal, budget around $15 to $25 per person. A mid-range restaurant with a more elevated experience, think a 3-course meal, will typically run $35 to $50 per person. If you're grabbing a coffee or a quick snack, you're looking at $3 to $6 for a regular coffee or a pastry. Fast food combos are generally in the $12 to $18 range. Overall, eating out in Edmonton won't break the bank if you're smart about it, and there's genuinely great food to be found at every price point. Section 3. Transportation. Getting around Edmonton. Let's talk options. Edmonton has a public transit system run by ETS, Edmonton Transit Service, which includes buses and the LRT, the light rail transit system. A single adult ride costs $3.50. If you're a senior age 65 or older, or if you have a disability, the fare drops to $2. Youth between 13 and 17 pay $3. If you're a regular transit user, a monthly pass is a much better deal. An adult monthly pass runs around $100, which is excellent value if you're commuting daily. For those who prefer more flexibility, rideshare services like Uber and Lyft are widely available across Edmonton. Base fares typically start around $2.50 to $3, plus approximately $1 to $1.50 per kilometer. Prices can go up during peak hours or in bad weather, so keep that in mind. Traditional taxis are still around too. The base fare is roughly $3.75 to $4 for the first kilometer, with about $1.82 per kilometer after that. Now, owning a vehicle. Edmonton is a driving city. Let's be honest about that. Most people have a car, and there are some ongoing costs to factor in. Gas prices in 2026 generally range from $1.25 to $1.50 per liter, though they fluctuate. Car insurance in Alberta averages around $1,500 to $2,000 per year, depending on your driving record, the type of vehicle you drive, and your coverage level. And parking, downtown can cost $15 to $25 per day, though monthly parking arrangements are more economical if you're working downtown regularly. Section 4. Leisure and entertainment. Edmonton is a city that really punches above its weight when it comes to things to do. Let's start with the free stuff. The North Saskatchewan River Valley is one of the largest urban park systems in North America, and it's completely free to explore. Hiking, cycling, cross-country skiing in the winter, it's an incredible natural asset right in the middle of the city. For paid attractions, the Edmonton Valley Zoo charges around $20 for adults and $12 for kids. The Royal Alberta Museum is about $18 for adults. The Art Gallery of Alberta runs around $15. And of course, West Edmonton Mall, one of the largest malls in North America, has Galaxyland, the indoor amusement park, with ride passes around $25 to $40, and World Water Park day passes for around $50. For active fun, trampoline parks, public skating rinks, and community swimming pools are all great options, usually priced between $5 and $30 depending on the activity. If you love live entertainment, concerts and theater shows typically range from $20 to over $100 depending on the act or production. And for a more low-key night out, escape rooms run about $25 to $35 per person, and bowling is generally $15 to $25. Edmonton is also a major sports city, home to the Edmonton Oilers in the NHL and FC Edmonton in soccer. Hockey game tickets can range from $60 for upper bowl seats to $300 or more for lower bowl, depending on the matchup. Section 5. Taxes and average household income. This is one of the biggest reasons people love living in Alberta, and Edmonton specifically. Alberta is the only province in Canada with no provincial sales tax, no PST. That means residents only pay the 5% federal GST on most purchases. Compare that to Ontario or BC, where you're paying 13% to 15% in combined sales tax on almost everything. That adds up to real savings over the course of a year. On the income tax side, Alberta uses a tiered provincial income tax system with rates ranging from 10% to 14% depending on your income level. Federal taxes are progressive, starting at 15% and going up to 33% for the highest earners. Property taxes in Edmonton are based on your home's assessed value, with an average residential rate of approximately 1.1%. Fuel is taxed at 13 cents per liter at the provincial level. Now, what are people actually earning here? Edmonton households typically bring in around $100,000 to $120,000 per year. The city benefits from strong employment in the energy sector, a rapidly growing tech industry, healthcare, government, and education. The University of Alberta is one of the top universities in Canada and is a major employer in the city. The combination of solid incomes and no PST makes Edmonton genuinely one of the most financially friendly cities to live in across the country. All right, let's wrap this up. Edmonton is a city that offers a rare combination: affordability, opportunity, and quality of life. Housing is accessible compared to most major Canadian cities. Groceries and dining are reasonable. Getting around is manageable whether you drive or take transit. There's no shortage of things to do, and the tax environment in Alberta is genuinely one of the best in the country. If you're thinking about making the move to Edmonton, whether you're coming from another province, another country, or just another part of Alberta, we would love to help you find the right home. Give us a call, send us a text, or shoot us an email. The Hop Fanoff Real Estate team with eXp Realty is here day or night, and we know this city inside and out. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help the channel. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and click the bell so you never miss a new video. We put out content regularly on Edmonton real estate, neighborhoods, and everything you need to know about life in this city. Thanks for watching, everyone. Until next time, we'll see you later.